Hey TJ, what if I told you that there was a virus that could destroy 1/5 of an entire country's nuclear infrastructure?
Well, Ethan, to be honest, I'd say I wouldn't believe you.
I know, it's crazy to think about, but there's this virus called Stuxnet. And not to sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist or anything, but some believe that the US was responsible for this virus. They used it on Iran back somewhere time in the Bush administration, they say.
I actually think I've heard about that. Didn't it wipe out 1/5 of Iran's nuclear program?
That you are correct, it did. Super crazy to think about it. You know, computer software was used to achieve such an insane task.
I mean, usually that's the way it goes, right? I mean, people hacking, getting your security information, stuff like that. Computer software can be made very dangerously and used in completely wrong ways.
Yeah, yeah. You know, a worker at the facility didn't know that his own flash drive was, infected, and it set off one of the worst cyber attacks in the history of the internet.
That's absolutely crazy.
I know.
It's insane. But I think I know what you're talking about. Didn't it target the centrifuges and PLCs and basically make the centrifuges blow themselves apart?
Yeah, by exploiting 4 zero-day flawless Stuxnet functions by targeting machines using Microsoft Windows operating systems and computers on the same network, and then seeking out, Simon's Step 7 software.
Right. So what exactly did it do to Iran's nuclear facility?
Well, reportedly it compromised Iranian PLCs, collecting information on industrial systems, and caused fast-spinning centrifuges that separate nuclear material.
Right.
Yeah. Took the nuclear material, and basically those things, it just tore them apart.
That's
completely
actually insane. That's crazy.
It's incredible. I don't think I'll ever understand how that works, to be honest with you.
Well, actually, if you think about it, it's not that complex. So Stuxnet has 3 parts to it, 3 modules, right?
Okay.
So it's got a worm that executes all routines related to the main payload of the attack.
Okay.
So that worm is what actually does what's supposed to happen.
Okay.
So that's the thing that actually tore the centrifuges apart, made them tear them apart. It's got a link file which automatically executes the propagated copies of the worm, and it's got a rootkit component responsible for hiding all malicious files and processes, preventing all detection of the virus. That's insane how that works.
There's 3 parts to it, and those 3 parts combined really messed up there. It's crazy that those 3 things just destroyed an entire nuclear infrastructure. I can't
actually
believe it.
crazy. But yeah, they did indeed. And Stuxnet also hid itself inside of the computer. It only executed the attacks when the right conditions were fulfilled. So it had parameters, that had to get checked off for it to launch its attack.
Okay.
And once those conditions were met, Stuxnet introduces the infected rootkit onto the PLC in Step 7 software.
Mm-hmm.
And what that does is it modifies the codes of the PLC and ultimately destroys the centrifuges just by doing that.
So, which means that those systems are reading the wrong commands, and then those commands just basically tell them to self-destruct.
Absolutely. Wow. I mean, they also return normal operating values to the operators, which hid the fact that something fishy was even happening.
Right, yeah.
So it's while they were messing with values, it's if you were the one controlling it, you would see normal operation. You would think everything's just going great.
That's amazing. So while the worm is present, right, it makes itself inert to stinging software. It is not found on connected computers.
Right.
It contains, so I assume it contains safeguards to prevent each infected computer from spreading to the worm to more than 3 others.
Right.
I believe that's what it was, 3 others.
Yeah.
And wasn't it supposed to erase itself? God, I don't remember. June 24th of 2014?
2012.
2012.
June 24th, 2012.
Right,
so if the attacks didn't get launched by that time, they were programmed to just erase themselves from the infected computers, and nobody would have known they were even there.
So the computers that were infected would then no longer be infected by that date.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. That's really amazing to think about, though. Somebody, I don't want to get too crazy, but probably an FBI agent,
right?
But again, don't want to be a
conspiracy theorist, right?
Infected a staff member's flash drive. That staff member's probably just I'm going to work today.
Right.
Oh, there goes the entire system.
Exactly.
That guy, it set back Iran's nuclear program 20 years to what it was held to.
Yeah, just from a USB.
One USB.
Some guy goes to work one day with a USB, and that day sets back Iran's nuclear program 20 years. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, the attackers took really great care to make sure that only their designated targets were hit. So they didn't leave a trace on any other system, and it just transferred until it finally got the target.
And to this day, we really still have no idea who did it.
Right.
I mean, we had speculation, obviously,
but you can't be a conspiracy theorist, Ethan. Come on, man.
I know. It must have been Marshman's job. Had to have been.
Absolutely.
Stuxnet.